touch me, mind your manners. I purposely screamed them loud.
When it was my stop, I alighted, he followed me.
No way.
Yeah, he followed me.
You're like, why you scold old people? They're so old already. You need to be nice to your young
No. Yeah, like he was like right beside me.
Why? No, but the problem is a lot of them were your friends and my friends too.
Yes, that's
so
the
I
thing.
was like, what the fuck?
Yeah, like.
Hello, welcome back to the Cossip podcast, not Cossip podcast. Today we have Maru.
Hi, Maru here.
And myself, Yosuke, as your host. Woo! What are we cosplaying to? We forget. Oh, we have the mic. I forgot. I'm so used to clipping it that it's like new setup. Sorry, guys. Okay, so Maru, what are we cosplaying today?
Today we are cosplaying as the most famous game right now, Love and Deep Space.
Oh my god, okay, I think you look very pretty.
Thank
as
you,
the
very
protagonist.
handsome.
Actually, who's your favorite guy in this
Xavier.
game? Actually, same but I'm casting Raphael today because we have another special guest who is joining us in next episode. Ooh. And they will be cosplaying Xavier. Ooh,
yeah, I'm looking forward to see my Xavier.
Yeah, also, I love Xavier.
Both of us are the fangirls of Xavier.
Xavier. So how would you rank the guys, like, the three of them? But
honestly, I only have Xavier in my heart. It's not even a rankable thing, it's just Xavier.
Actually, same. Like, mine is Xavier, probably Raphael, although I think he talks too much sometimes. Then Zane, actually, because Zane, well, he looks great, his lore is great. I just felt that his character a bit like Tan.
Oh, yeah.
How do you say Tan in?
It's just cold. Like
Lung.
I
mean, his ability is like ice shit. So, yeah. I don't know, like, when I followed through all the story, I resonated more with Xavier.
I don't get it.
Same. I like puppy boy.
Yeah,
he's very puppy boy.
He's damn cute. Then he's like a bit stoic and confused also.
Have you been here
like, well,
before?
he's like, well, he's super strong. At times, you also have to take care of him.
That's true.
Okay, guys,
like
take
that.
notes. Girls like this. Girls like this kind of men, okay?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Don't play the game, you might like Xavier too.
I just realized I'm eating a weak hair.
Yeah, I was gonna take it away from you when we
Thank
pause.
you. Fan service.
Raphael here is eating his own hair.
Well, I'm not surprised. I feel like he's like this kind of character that will do funny things and he'll try to act cool and pretend it didn't happen.
Oh, that's true. I mean, that's kind of cute though.
But he talks too much.
He talks too much.
He talks too much.
He teases too much.
He teases too much.
Yeah,
I agree.
We both agreed that we don't really like guys that tease.
True.
Like males that tease.
Yeah, I felt that Raphael sometimes like you can't really have a proper conversation with him.
Oh,
because he just keeps like teasing you, and then you're like,
bro, I'm trying to have a heart talk with you, man. Please.
You look amazing, your face very nice, but your mouth open, and I'm like,
he's not fluent in communication.
He tried very hard to be Sammy.
Yeah.
Actually, among the three guys, who do you think is the most Sammy?
Sammy, probably Zane.
True, Zane.
Yeah, I mean he's just cold.
He's just cold.
Yeah,
He's like
just
the
cold.
doctor vibes.
Yeah.
Zane. In fact, I think Xavier is the most okay.
Yeah, like,
almost bottom.
yeah, then Raphael, then Zane.
Yeah. Then the childhood friend is just there.
Just there.
He's like the fourth wheel of everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, until part of the law where he no spoilers. But if you know, you know. Anyways, today's podcast we're gonna revisit something that we filmed a while back. And that is the interviews we did at Doujin Market with a lot of cosplayers, event attendees, and in fact some of you who are watching the podcast now. So it's about the bear versus man topic. So as we all know, this has been like a viral topic, right? It was trending on like TikTok, then it went everywhere, it went on street interviews, it went on news article, everyone's talking about it. So today let's try to like digest, probably try to understand why our fellow con attendees also shared their thoughts and like why they chose the bear. I noticed like, I think among all the people interviewed, there's only one who picked the man, right?
One or two,
yeah. So like why we're gonna like break it down today and also probably share our experiences as like females in the coscom or like just like females in the society in general.
Society.
I don't know, yeah. So So actually just now Mauro and I, right, we were looking at this TikTok video of the guy who started all of this.
Oh yeah.
You want to share about it?
So basically, the reason why he asked the question, it wasn't like a would you rather be, but rather he wanted males to understand the perspective of females in society. So he wanted males to understand how it's like to be a female.
Yeah.
So
And like why, given these two options, so many female women, they would rather pick the bear, which is quite crazy if you think about it. Because if you think about it, right, like, okay, if we don't consider anything else, it's just the premise of a bear and then a human. So obviously it makes more sense to select the same species. Does that make sense? Like,
yeah,
you
but
would
the
rather,
fact that all the
right?
females choose bear.
Yeah, like you would rather go with something familiar, which is a human, compared to a bear, which is like an animal, which you don't know what it's gonna do. There's no predictability, and it's quite scary that so many women, not just in our interview but online, they are like so they really choose the bear. Like there was no.
And the fact that a lot of them had to fight for their answer.
Yeah,
they had to fight for their answers, guys.
Yeah. A lot of men will choose the man, while a lot of women they choose the bear. Yeah, do you have any like idea on why you think men choose the man?
I would say because like maybe to them they think that they are seeing it from their own perspective, whereby they think that they are the men in the forest, so they would think that they are the good guys, but they
Like
don't
they
know.
won't cause
yeah,
harm.
they know that they wouldn't cause harm to you, but it could be anyone to us.
True.
Like it could be anyone in the forest to us. So like I feel that it's a pretty selfish point of view when they try to like fight back on, when we say bear and then they're like, not all men are like this. Like I'm not like that, but you wouldn't know who you would meet, honestly.
True. I do agree that not all men are bad, obviously, and
same.
we do have mutuals who are also trying to understand and answer this question. And I guess when I'm trying to understand why men pick men, it might be because like we said, not all men are bad, right? Because they are the good guys, they feel like they are accused. So they feel like they don't fall under the classification.
That's true.
They don't understand like I'm good. Why women still pick bear? And like wouldn't a bear like tear you apart, maul you up, and you just like pass away or something? And so it's like quite interesting to see both sides of the conversation.
But I guess that also shows how much like men in the society, they don't actually put themselves in the shoes of a woman when they answer to this question, because they can only see it from their own perspective. Which is flawed, because as we said, the original poster, his intention for this bear versus man is because he wanted men to like see things from a woman's perspective.
Like what to what extent women go through on a day-to-day basis, like
that's true.
Why were they pushed to choose the bear? So maybe let's discuss a bit about the responses we got at Doujin Market. So I think we have quite a few interesting responses, including animalistic side. That was very funny. It was like the biggest miscommunication of that day. Then afterwards we were like, okay, we need
I had to like connect it in my mind. I was like, animalistic side? What? Are you a furry?
I asked the question. Everyone was like, we need the full story. Like, why did she say that? But okay. For context, like afterwards, before we interview people, we ask them, are you familiar with this trending thing?
We realized we need to ask them.
Give the context, right? The premise of why. Then she picked bear.
She still picked bear.
She still picked bear. What was the reason? She said men were scary or something, like men were trash. I remember it was like the most unfiltered response we got on that day, right? So for the interviewee, she must have had like a lot of experiences that were probably not so good with
I think she said like because she wouldn't know which man
you won't take
it
the
would be.
chance.
She doesn't want to take the chance, so she would rather pick a bear.
Actually, I thought one of the responses for one of the interviewees was very interesting. She said it comes down to the intention, right? Because if you were to encounter a bear, the bear probably attacked you for maybe it's like hungry, protecting its like cubs, or protecting territory. But whereas with you encountering a man, if they choose to cause harm to you, the intentions are obviously very different, right? Like you won't want to take the chance of finding out what they can do to you. Whereas for a bear, the outcome is like you either live or you die.
There's like so many horror stories of like women getting like assaulted and like in different ways too, and some even get like, as they say, so creative with it, like those
I
murderer,
see those true
rapists.
crime, and then I'm like,
Yeah,
it's
so
quite
like
scary to think
it's
about.
really like just and for a bear, it's just like they just need it to survive. They just need food
It's
to
their
survive.
instincts, right? They either fight you or they run away.
Yeah, so like you wouldn't kind of blame the bear if you got eaten by the bear, because you're like, I mean, they're just trying to survive. They're just animals.
They're just doing their thing.
Yeah, whereas like as a man, like if you do something to a woman,
It's a choice.
it's a choice.
Roar. Do bears say roar? What kind of noise they make? Subscribe or your mom gay. Thank you.
Yeah.
Subscribe. There was also another thread where I follow up, like after our initial interviews, people like kind of shared some images of like comics of bear being like bear attacking a human. And a lot of people are like, wow, this comic is created by men for men.
Yeah, and it's like at a point like it kind of shows that men also fantasize like women getting mauled by the bear, because like why would you even draw it up?
True. I guess they're trying to prove a point, right? Like, this
Yeah,
is
like,
the
you
outcome
go-
if you choose a bear.
Yeah, you like they'll go so far just to prove their point,
their
which
point.
is like that's not the point. Like
Yeah.
we are saying
The
that
point is to understand why women want to
yeah,
prepare.
exactly. It's like kind of sad to see how twisted they got.
Yeah. And I saw in the comments of one of these threads that someone said like, oh, at least, if you die to a bear, you don't have to see the perpetrator at a family gathering.
Oh yeah.
Which is quite sad, because if we think about it, right, there are so many underreported cases of like assaults from men to women, and maybe these cases just don't escalate because it is not so severe that authorities have to step in. So oftentimes a lot of men get away with their like creepy doings or actions. Have you experienced anything like that you couldn't really report or like have any documentation to really voice out?
I've actually experienced it since I was like really young.
Oh, it's really young.
By a family member.
Oh my god, by pedophile.
Kind of. Yeah,
That's
so like I
uncomfortable.
remember like when I was like maybe 7, 8, and I used to have like some sort of like eczema symptoms on my chest. So I would grow like also like flare-ups, like little small pimple like flare-ups on my chest. So I had this uncle where he told my mom like there was this cream that he know of that would help. So he kind of gave it to my mom at first, and I used to visit his house a lot to play with his daughter. And like, so every time I visit, he will ask me about how's my flare up, and then he said like, oh, it's time to put the cream. So he will make me take off my shirt in his room, and he will like put the cream for me.
Wait, but it's like your parents all that around?
No, like it's just me and my uncle alone.
That's a scary spot, because you're so young, you don't really know what's
I didn't
happening,
know,
and you don't know how to stand up and protect yourself.
So like I only found out like I only realized like it isn't appropriate because like I'm like 7, 8, like I'm not like a toddler anymore,
Could you think this might stem from him having his own child? Then probably for him it's like an act of care or concern.
Honestly, I'm not sure, because like that's what I've thought of like all the years, but until I realized like a couple of years ago, I'm like, that's not very because the most important thing is he could have asked his wife to do it.
True.
Yeah. Why must he do it himself?
Actually, that's really interesting. Like, at what point does it become an assault, right? What if it's really done with no malicious intent, but you also feel uncomfortable?
That's true. Because I realized that actually it made me very uncomfortable, because it's like putting the cream all over my
and it made you
upper
take
torso.
off
It made me take off my shirt. So, and we are alone in the room, so
it could have gone
wrong, and like I'm so glad nothing else happened. But at the same time, just thinking about it made me really uncomfortable, as I reach adulthood. Yeah.
Actually, like with such instances, right, where it's regarding a family member, I feel like it's also difficult to, kind of like raise up your concerns with your parents or like an adult, right? Because they are probably like, oh, they're just taking care of you. So there's that. Also, there's aspect that you might be dismissed, and they might think you're just being like oversensitive or something.
And I actually have been dismissed. So like I did tell my mom, and she's just like, oh wow, like I think she kind of understood where I was coming from, but she didn't like really like speak to me about it after. She just like kind of like kept it to herself. So like I think I realized it's something that I shouldn't talk about anymore. But I don't tell my friends about it, and they all have the same reaction as me. It's like, oh, that's damn creepy.
Yeah, that's really creepy.
Yeah, like it's actually pretty creepy because like it's not your kid, and then like you're in like the same room.
Yeah.
And then like no.
It's just uncomfortable.
It's
like
just
you can't really
uncomfortable.
point that it's wrong, but you
Yeah.
can't say it's right either. It's just
Yeah.
like an uncomfortable like position.
Yeah,
Do you like take any precautions afterwards? So like maybe meet this relative lesser or something.
Oh yeah, actually just like when I see
Oh.
that uncle, I just like move away.
But I would imagine you're like much grown up now. You probably won't do anything, right?
He wouldn't, but it's
You would just like scream like,
yeah, like you touched me before. But I mean, other than that, I do have like stalking cases before.
Oh.
Yeah, like
Tell me more.
yeah. So I was like probably 18 back then, and then I was traveling from one side of Singapore to the other side. So that would take like maybe almost
1 to 2
1.5
hours.
hours. Yeah, 1.5 hours if I remember correctly.
You're on public transport.
Yeah, the MRT in Singapore.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Public transport.
Public transport.
Public
Oh my
transport.
god.
Okay, you share a story first. Like I'll share mine. Because I have public transport encounters.
Yeah. Oh my god, it's always the public transport.
Is it because it's like you're stuck in a space you can't run? That's why they take advantage of it.
Yeah, I feel the same way.
Right.
And like all the strangers are like everywhere, so
And it's
surrounded.
maybe to some of these people, they're like, oh, you're in a public place. Maybe you don't dare to make a commotion, so they take advantage of it.
And they probably think that they can kind of blend in also.
Oh,
Yeah, like they can do it from the
Yo,
side.
it's really scary because all this kind of like creepy people, they can be anyone. They can really blend in. It can be your family member. It can be like your closest friend. Can be I don't know. I don't want
And
to take
that
the
brings
risk.
the point to why we always say you wouldn't know which man it is.
True.
Yeah, honestly, this is like the reason why we keep saying that. But yeah, anyways, the stalking thing. I was traveling, and then when I was changing lines in the MRT, I walked past this man. He was like maybe like 185 cm tall.
Oh, that's really
like
tall.
really big. Like
And your build is quite petite, so he's like,
yeah, and he was like he was built, man. He was like boom.
oh, got muscle.
He got
Oh,
muscle,
shit.
like
He can probably like, carry you and run
no,
away.
he freaking looked like the Rock, man. And he had like a lot of tattoos, so he kind of looked like a gangster. Yeah, so like I walked past him, and then I noticed like we had like we exchanged eye contact for like a second, and then I walked all the way to the end, and then when I turned around, I realized that he followed me.
End of like the station or train?
Like when you wait for the train,
the platform.
the platform,
okay.
yeah, the platform. Sorry, yeah, I realized he was waiting at the same area. He was in the middle at first. He followed me all the way to the back. Yeah, so during that trip in total, I had to change lines around 2 times. So when I went into that train, it was an empty cabin. So I was like standing at one side, and he was standing at the other side. He was like maybe like 5 or 6 feet away from me.
Okay, that's creepy. Although he didn't stand beside you, that's still creepy.
He's still creepy, and there's like nobody.
Yeah.
Like the seats and all are empty, but he chose to stand. I chose to stand because it was only like 4 or 5 stops. And when it was my stop, I alighted. He followed me.
No way.
Yeah, he followed me.
The coincidence is too much.
Yeah,
much.
and no wait, sorry. And while I was waiting for that 4 to 5 stops, right, he slowly got closer to me. So by the time I reached my stop, he was like this close to me, you know.
So he's like about to exit the same door as you.
Yeah, like he was like right
Why?
beside me.
Why?
Yeah, and then like I changed line, and in between like the walk to the other line was like pretty far. I was like maybe a 5
sometimes
minute walk.
between the station in Singapore, you have to walk quite a
Yeah,
bit.
I walked quite far, right? And then he followed me all the way also.
No! Did he follow like get closer and closer?
He was right behind me.
Ew!
Yeah, and then like when I reached the other line's platform, he was also right beside me. He entered the same door as me. And unfortunately, that one train in that cabin, it was super crowded. So
Oh,
at
I see
one
where this is
point,
going.
at
No.
one point he was right beside me, our shoulders was touching, and he kept rubbing his shoulder on me.
Oh my god.
Yeah, because I was like wearing like this kind of top. It was like off shoulder.
Off-shoulder.
So he was like
Oh,
rubbing, and he was like wearing some kind of singlet. And it's just like rubbing, and he was like
You get your skin shit.
and like I was like, oh my god, like I kind of realized like he's following me already. So I immediately, when it was my stop, I ran out. Like there was a
You
lot of
should
people.
run, girl. Like,
Yeah, I ran. Like, I pushed the people and
my
I ran. I looked back. He was pushing people to
Could
chase
you have
after
like
me.
where do you run to? Like
Because I was meeting my friend. He was like right downstairs.
run to your friend. Man.
Yeah, so I got out and then it was like a really long elevator, right? I ran all the way down. I turned back, he was also running down the elevator.
Why?
And then I saw my friend, and thank God, I guess, it's kind of sad to say, but it was a guy friend, so like I ran to my guy friend, I immediately like linked my hand
like to show, like,
yeah,
I'm safe.
I turned
Don't touch
around
me.
and he looked visibly super upset, and then he left. He went back up.
Ew.
He went back up to the platform.
I guess I'm just trying to understand why he need to like stop you, right? Maybe he was trying to start a conversation with you but didn't know when to like start. So he just started following you, which is like,
And then he started rubbing his shoulders on mine.
Please don't do that. If I don't know, some girls might not visibly show that they're uncomfortable, but it's not something you should do to anyone, right? In the public, like just get close to them, start running after them.
I know, he ran, oh my god, like imagine like freaking The Rock is running after you. It's like boom, 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 boom. Like, I was so scared, like I was crying, man. I was like, what the hell?
Yeah, I'm so sorry. Like, it must have been so like traumatizing.
It was. So ever since then, like whenever I'm on public transport, right, I'll always like look around.
Yeah,
like people might think that I'm looking at them, but I'm actually just like scanning the area just in case like anyone like I feel like might approach me or like do something. It's not because like I think like, oh my god, like wow, like who am I? And then they want to follow me. No, it's because like I legit have PTSD. Yeah, like I'm like just in case. Because when it happened, I wasn't really looking at my surroundings at first. Until I look out and I saw the guy, and I still had my doubts about him. But now I'm like, no, if you approach me in the public transport, and then I'll be like, no, stay away.
I feel like sometimes it's like when this kind of situations happen, it is so sudden and you don't know how to react.
Yeah.
You don't know if you want to scream, you keep quiet, or you try to move away as fast as you can, right? That's that panic, like it just sets in and you're like, oh no, I have to make a decision that can probably save my life. Like what do I do?
Yeah.
And it's very upsetting that, women have to be so careful outside because of this minority, one or two creepy men that affected their experiences.
And the thing is, like, generally, like, we would think that Singapore is safe too. You wouldn't think that this kind of thing would happen.
Yeah.
So it's more shocking to us actually, because we have that mindset really, like Singapore is safe.
I think our parents who have also warned us before as like, daughters of the family. They'll be like, when you go out, you have to be careful.
Yeah.
Make sure
but actually I don't believe at first, because I'm like, Singapore is so safe, it's okay, man. And then it happened, I'm like, okay, mommy, you're right.
Yeah, you are very right. I'll come home before 10 p.m.
I will stick to my curfew.
But the thing is, there is curfew, but it happens in broad daylight too.
That's true.
Right? So it's like, how
just have to be careful, honestly.
You can avoid, but some instances you have to always, be on the go to be prepared to like fight or flight.
And honestly, it's really tiring, like the fact that you just
have
to go out and travel.
Very aware and to start, like, getting your spidey senses, like, oh, is that guy gonna do weird stuff? He's looking at me. Is he just like stoning and like staring into the distance, or is he actually like eyeballing you and thinking?
Like I cannot just like enjoy my trip. Like I have to be so aware of my surroundings. Meanwhile, like one thing I'm jealous about, like maybe the other gender, is like they can just be really relaxed because they wouldn't think that danger would fall upon them as much as females would. So yeah, like when me and my partner go out, right, and then like he realized that there's actually like a lot of ice sometimes. Like when we walk past people, like maybe some like middle-aged men will get too close to me suddenly. And that has happened a lot of time already. And sometimes I don't even notice it because I feel safe with my partner, but he's the one that noticed it,
Oh no.
Yeah.
That's really bad.
Yeah, that's why I feel that like a lot of my friends with partners also, they also choose the bear. A lot of them choose the bear is because
some men also choose the bear.
Yeah, because I guess like they witness their partner everyday life where the partner like have to go through this kind of thing, and they're in their life now, so like they can see from the perspective of a woman now.
I guess touching on your point also, like, although, a lot of all these things happen to women, it actually also happens to men.
Yeah, that's very
like
true.
It could also be male or female perpetrators who kind of like target men and make them, uncomfortable in situations like that too. So it's a human thing, and it's very unfortunate that some people have this kind of intentions. Yeah. I think like for your case, right, the public transport one, you were 18. I had one where I was like way younger on public transport also, and till today I'm like kind of disgusted. But after that very first instance, right, like if I encounter like such situations again, I actually scold the guy, which I did recently. I'm so proud of myself.
Damn! Wait, what happened?
Okay, so I'll share my previous one. So back then I was very young, like primary school. what's the age of primary school? Like below 12, right?
Yeah, 12
Yeah,
is
so
the max.
I will go to tuition myself on Saturdays morning. I think Saturday morning. So I will take like the specific time because my tuition is at a fixed timing, right? Then I started to notice that every week when I took the bus to the station, there will be this Chinese man that will always be at this one particular bus stop waiting for the bus that I'm on. Then he'll get on and stand beside me no matter how crowded it is. Yeah, which after a while I started to realize like this is not right. The coincidence can't be that every week he's on the same bus as me and he will stand beside me, right? So
Bro's
I was
dedicated,
like
man.
so uncomfortable by
Yeah,
it. And
oh
I
my
remember like at one point I was like I did voice out. I was like, ew, can you don't stand so near
Oh my
me?"
god, really? You told him that?
Yeah, I told him that, and then afterwards he disappeared. I also changed my timing so
Oh,
I know I
oh
can
my god,
prevent
that's
this kind
nasty
of
though.
situation. And I'm just like, wow, like there are men out there targeting younger girls too. And younger girls, not everyone might be aware or they might not have the courage to voice up. I guess I was quite vocal. I would like fight people. So
Yeah, but
Yeah.
like unfortunately not a lot of
it
like,
was quite scary.
Yeah.
I never told my mom about this.
Oh, you
Yeah, because I
didn't?
just felt that maybe if I tell her, she'll probably be like, it's just another guy, just change your bus time. You know, that the Asian parent thing, they kind of dismiss
Yeah, they're like
themselves.
dismissive,
Yeah,
right?
like even with the recent situation where I came home, I told them I scolded an uncle on the bus. They were like, "Why you scold old people? They're so old already. You need to be nice to your 长辈,
No,
you know." Then
that's
I'm
not.
like, then I explained. So I was on the bus.
Mm.
It wasn't too crowded or anything, but I was all the way at the back seat beside the window there. So many seats, you know. Then there was this very old uncle. He got on. Of all the seats he could sit, he sit beside me. That's fine though. Maybe some people just like sitting at the back, right? But this guy, he started smiling at me.
No, wait, what? Like he turned and smiled at you?
Throughout the bus ride, I just saw him. He was like sitting at that.
What?
Then you know, I was looking at the mirror, like the glass. I could see his reflection there. Like,
Oh my god, that's kind of horror show already.
So at first I thought maybe he just like a friendly guy wanting to start a conversation. So I didn't really quite, point it out at first. I was just like, okay, maybe I'm just being sensitive or something. Then I noticed another woman get on. She sits at it started to get more crowded. So, you know, like the Singapore bus, you sometimes have the face-to-face seat.
Oh, yeah,
So she was
yeah,
sitting
those
backwards.
kind.
She was sitting in front of the guy. I noticed he was looking like between her skirt. Like, I'm like, excuse me, old man, stop.
Stop.
Yeah, stop. So,
No.
like eventually she got off. Then the old man still beside me smiling. And when I was about to get off, like the moment before, you know, my bus was still moving before it reached my station, he was like, 你还在读书啊，小妹?
Oh my god.
Oh my god. I was like, I'm a working adult, I'm a corporate slave, like, excuse me, why you need to call me 小妹? So obviously I was like a bit uncomfortable already. I didn't like entertain him. So I was like, I gave him the bombastic side. I was like, yeah, then afterwards he just keep asking more personal information.
Oh my
He's
god, he
like,
asked you more?
Yeah, he was like, so 你现在这样迟回，有没有人 that kind of thing. Then when I was about to get off, he wanted to reach out and help me get up and get off the bus. Which at that point I turned around. I was like, "Uncle, don't touch me. Mind your manners." I purposely screamed them loud so everyone, I started a commotion on the bus, so everyone would look at him and he would know to like stop doing what he
Yeah,
wanted
good
to.
job.
Yeah.
That's a good job.
I still remember I was about to tap my card and leave. I look at the uncle. I was like, "Uncle, don't do this to other people. You're fucking rude." Then the uncle was like, then even I got off, right, I looked back at the bus. The uncle was like,
The audacity to be offended though.
这个小妹好有胆哦. I'm ready to fight. Yeah, so
Oh my god.
I really just hope that sometimes, like all this, like, well, it is still not right for men to do this, but in situations where you can kind of make them uncomfortable, do it.
Yeah.
Let them have a taste of what they asked for.
Yeah.
Like, he was obviously asking for it, right? Trying to, like, get close to me, try to touch me. So I stir shit.
When was this?
It's quite recent, like just last 1 to 2 years.
Oh my god, ew.
Yeah, I mean, there were cases of other guys following me from the bus station before, but this was the worst because he actually tried to do something. He tried to touch me and stuff. So when I came home, I opened my door. I was like, to my grandparents, and I was like, "Hey, I scolded an uncle." I was so proud of myself because usually I try to, but I like to fight. I often choose to not be confrontational. Like if someone made me uncomfortable, I'll just try to exit the situation and just move on. But this uncle, I was like,
He's just asking for it.
just
at this
asking
point.
for it. I'm still very happy that I fought him.
Yeah. Please don't be afraid to go back. Like,
but I guess
just
you have to
do
see
it.
the situation. If you're in a
that's
position
true.
where if you fight back and they could cause harm, then you need to reevaluate
I guess
your choices.
you have to evaluate the situation, and if it's
like,
in
is there
public,
help nearby?
if there's help nearby, then you can just go there.
Sidetrack. So they were saying that if you're in public and you need help, right, don't just scream generally. You point someone like, "Hey, guy in blue shirt, can you help me?" Because that gives people responsibility, and it's more likely they will take
that's
action.
a very good advice. Yeah.
So like if you really like in outside a guy's following or something, find someone and approach them. Make sure you identify this one person, even though they're in a group, like, "Hi, can you help me? There's this guy following me." Instead of asking the general public, because some people will be like, "Oh, other people are gonna help," then they won't help.
That's true. True.
Do you have any other experiences? Like more recent years, I guess?
The most recent one is also like uncle.
Oh my god, what's with all these uncles?
Bro. But like, cause I was going out with friends, and then like he just like followed me around. He asked me where I was going, and he just like followed me. And like I just like quickly ran off. Like I was wearing high heels and I had to like walk super fast, okay? I was like
Sometimes it's so hard to figure out if these people are just approaching you out of friendly intentions or they're like trying to do weird things.
Yeah. But like because it's still strangers, so it doesn't
be
like
careful.
it doesn't like bother me as much. But like I do have like friends who has done like awkward like weird things to me.
Wait, like your own guy friends to you?
Ex-guy friends, because like I fell out with them after like
Would
this
you like
kind
to
of
share more?
Of course.
Okay.
So
Spill
well,
the tea.
I mean, I used to have like a couple of like good guy friends, and like there was one particular guy where we were pretty close. Yeah. So and this guy, he himself has a partner already. Like they are about to settle down and all. And I had another partner back then, but I had just broken up with that partner. So this good friend of mine asked me out like maybe 3 or 4 days after we had broken up. And then like after that, I went out to have like dinner and some drinks with him, like maybe just one drink kind of situation. And he was driving, so he offered to drive me. Like we were just chatting and all. And like I've been good friends with this guy for like maybe like a year or so. Like we are like kind of like really just bro kind of friends. Like we often have shoots together. I'll like do modeling.
Comfortable enough to share.
And like I'll model for his photography like portfolio and those kind of stuff. And then like while he was driving, he suddenly told me the strangest shit in the world. He was like, "Oh, Mauro, actually before I actually settle down, I kind of want to do it one last time with someone else." And I was like,
"What the fuck?"
I was like, "Okay."
Wait, like with you?
He didn't say with me. He had like this dramatic pause, okay? And he's like,
it's implying that it's you, man, because you're like in the car with him.
Yeah, and I was just like, "Oh, haha," like.
No, I think you don't know how to react because it's like.
Yeah, I didn't know how to react. So I was just like,
Like, you have to imagine your really close guy friend just turns around you. "Before I settle down, I'm doing with someone." Then you're just like, "What the fuck?"
Yeah, I was like,
What the fuck?
Okay. And I was like alone in his car, like I
open the door and jump out.
Yeah, he was like, then he's just like, then I was like, then he's like, with someone like you. Then I was just like,
so he did say you.
He didn't say that. He said that. Oh shit.
She's
And
about to
he's
get married.
bros with like my ex-partner.
Oh my god. And he's about to get married.
He's about to get married. I just freshly broken up with my ex-partner. He said that kind of shit to me, And I was like, huh? No. And then I just like silenced all the way till I got home.
Yeah, that's a good choice.
Yeah.
So what happened afterwards? Was it like super
I
awkward?
just swept it under the rug, cause like he tends to say pretty unhinged things. So like
I feel like this one crossed the line.
it crossed the line already. So like I did keep my distance from him afterwards. Yeah. But like it was like so uncalled for because like all along I always see him as just like a male friend, like
saw
nothing
you
more.
As something more.
And then like the fact that he's been seeing me in this kind of way, probably the whole friendship, right? It's just
It makes you reevaluate everything.
Yeah,
like I'm pretty sure you went through like a stage where you have a lot of like self-reflection, self-thoughts, where you kind of look back at these situations and think about what he said might have implied other things, for example.
Yeah, exactly. It's just like
So uncomfortable.
Yeah,
It's so
I have
uncomfortable.
no words for it. I just every time I talk about it, I'm just like, ew, like this is why like a lot of my guy friends now are actually like my girlfriend's partners instead. Like
You filter the shit.
yeah, I really filter the men in my life because I am
You
so
don't want to deal
scared.
with it anymore.
I don't want to deal with it anymore.
And I also remember that, you know, during that period where you were just, you know, you broke up and all that, there's not only just this guy, there were other guys trying to get in your pants.
Oh my god, that's true. You had to make a post or something, right?
I was so
remember you made a
angry. I was so
post.
angry because we are quite close. So Maru would like confide in me. I still remember when she broke up, I was like shooting in some alley. I went to her house and like what 2 a.m.
Oh my god,
Yeah, it was crazy. So like we know a lot of our
Yosuke is very protective
our
of
personal
me.
stuff. So whenever I hear shit about like all the men in your life, I'm like, I'm gonna beat the shit out of you. I'll beat the shit out of you. I'm so angry.
Be careful, Yosuke's
I'm
come after you,
gonna beat
okay?
the shit out of you. Now I feel like a lot of situations it was so uncalled for. Like all these men, like when they realize you're no longer attached, they are just
Oh
like,
my god, they freaking come out like
and they
wolves.
just run towards you like,
Yeah, and like I think if it's like a guy that I don't know, like maybe like met through.
no, but the problem is a lot of them were your friends and my friends too.
Yes, that's
So
the
I
thing.
was like, what the fuck?
Yeah, like out of nowhere, like people that we thought were like bros and all, like oh suddenly you know.
It's like so many people like trying to date you and I couldn't come. I was like, what's wrong with all of y'all?
It's kind of disappointing
it's
because
very-
like you have this how to say you have this perception of a person where they're like really good.
You
good
trust
friend.
them, you really see
Yeah.
them as a close friend that you can confide in. But the moment you're single, ding, ding, they just like,
It's really sad,
it's
honestly.
time to get in your pants.
Yeah, so now a lot of my friends are just female friends whom I can
It's
trust
quite
now.
scary.
Yeah, it's true.
I'm sure you would have had more experiences like this because like for me when I go out I can look like shit. I just don't care. You really put in effort to like dress up all that, right? And I feel like you have also shared with me about instances where you're just doing your thing in public and random guys just come and Nanpa you.
Oh yeah.
Nanpa
yeah,
is like,
yeah.
you know, they try to hit you up, try to get your number kind of thing.
I guess those are fine. Like I'll just like laugh it off most of the time. As
Do
long
you
as they
find
don't,
it
like,
creepy, like how they approach you?
well, I mean, most of the time it's okay. They're pretty
Like, if
respectful.
they just come ask you, you say no, they fuck
Yeah,
off.
those are totally
Okay,
fine.
those are
Like,
fine.
yeah,
Don't
those are like
start
just-
running after.
Yeah, don't run after them. Okay, like if they reject you, just like back off. Like it's okay.
Know your boundaries.
Yeah, know your boundaries. Like I think it's totally okay to like want to make friends or like meet new people. Like it takes a lot of courage to actually go and ask actually. So I admire and respect you guys. But it's just that don't go beyond that if they don't seem interested. Yeah.
Wow, that's
All
really
good. But yeah, I think there's so many more, but like I have to like really dive into it. So like it's too much, honestly.
it's too
So
much.
these are just a couple of examples.
safe.
Yeah.
So do you think like collectively as women, all of us, I'm pretty sure everyone will have experienced, you know, different forms of like harassment, uncomfortable situation, all that, be it by other females or other males. But when it comes to males, it feels scary, right? So do you think a lot of all these women they choose bear out of fear? Like they fear a man more than they fear a bear.
I think fear and then like also the trust issues
Oh, yeah,
aspect.
trust issues.
Yeah. Like we can how to say, like you can trust a guy but when that trust is broken, like it's actually very painful.
The switch just
yeah,
changed
like
quite
how
fast.
like I trusted my male friend who I consider a very very good friend of mine, and that trust was broken. Honestly, it hurt me a lot. Like to realize that he actually felt a different way, and that hurt me a lot. So that actually like kind of made me not want to trust men anymore.
Not so easily,
not let them come into my life so easily. So that also kind of drive me into why I would rather pick a bear, because like I mean I don't trust a bear, but like he just kill me, you know. Like if I trust a man, then he do something to me, then you know I'm going to die with the trust issues problem. I'm gonna die with like anger management
The
problems.
thing is like if you die to a man versus you die to the bear, like you die, that's the outcome,
Yeah,
right? That's
yeah.
the worst that can happen. But what if you live? You have to deal with so much more like, you know, societal pressures. And I think you yourself you will be so impacted that you have to go through so much, right?
Yeah.
And it's even more scary if you live, I feel.
Yeah, like with the guy friend incident, I kind of got victim blame for it too.
Oh, no.
Because I was told by like mutuals that it's my fault that I got close to someone who already has a partner. And I used to believe, my past belief is that even though you have a partner, you're still allowed to have friends of all genders. Like, it's not like you're gonna do anything to me. And I believe that because I totally have zero feelings towards anyone else other than my...
It's really like you saw that as a friend, right?
But they're just friends to me. But I realized that not everyone feels the same way. So ever since then, like, I only keep like the friends that I made as like the people around me, and then if it's their partners, they are like my friend's partner. Like, I view them this way. Yeah, my friend taught me to, in order to keep myself from getting victim blamed. Yeah, because of what I was told. I was like told that, because I was too friendly with the guy, that kind of stuff, and that also hurt me. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't understand because there's always two sides to the story, right? But it's just really upsetting that, when things like this happen, people sometimes also don't realize your position and what you had to go through.
Yeah.
Because they are just like, oh, both are my friends. You are just being sensitive. They just kind of like brush it off, right? They don't really give it a deeper like thought.
Yeah.
Like, oh, what would have caused her to react like this?
Yeah.
What did that guy do? To what extent did he do it? So
it's really sad. Yeah. But it's okay. That's why I say it's an ex-friend now. So I only keep the people I trust around me now.
It's what were the other responses we had during the interview. I know there was a really funny one where he's like, I would rather touch the bear's paws than a man's hand. I thought that was like really hilarious, but at the same time, like why? Like to the extent she doesn't want to like.
She's just scared already.
Yeah, right. It's so creepy. And she actually did share with us separately out of the interview, like why she reacted.
Yeah, and actually, we both kind of believe her. Like, we both can like relate to her because she does have her fair share of experiences too. She just didn't want to speak on it. About it, which is fine. Yeah, but we also have people sharing about why they choose men.
Yes, there was this one response. She was like, a man. I thought it was quite interesting because there is, compared to all the other response, she was confident. She was like, between a bear and a man, I'll pick a man because she feels that she can fight and take them down. Yeah. Which I'm like, wow, man, you're so strong.
She's a queen.
She's ready to fight.
Yeah, she's a queen, man. I think one of them said they knew boxing or something. Like some
they
sort of martial arts.
So I'm like, wow. Yeah. It's quite interesting to see, like, when you have a bit more in this way, like power, your level of fear decreases. You are like willing to take on the man head on, like fight for your life. If you're gonna die, you might as well fight, right? Like, yeah. So it's quite interesting.
But it's also like sad, like you have to pick up.
You have to pick up fighting. You have to fight,
in order to be able to be around a man.
Right.
But yeah, power to her, man. Maybe I should go and pick up martial
arts. How to fight. Taekwondo class. Let's go. Learn how to fight. The next time someone approach you, I just straight away kick out.
I'm like just talking to the guy, then suddenly Yosuke comes in with a flying kick.
That's quite funny.
Yeah, I can imagine it.
Like those like anime comedic moment where the guy sees something wrong, the girl just flying.
Yeah. Really like watching us.
You don't listen to them, you just straight up come in and kick the shit out.
Yosuke is my guardian angel at this point. The things that happen to me at conventions, unfortunately, is because like usually when I'm alone. Yeah, they always appear when you're alone.
I guess to them it's like, they don't deal with anything else. They just come to you and get what they want. Right?
Yeah,
it's like, there's less barriers.
Yeah,
what was your like worst convention experience?
Worst? Let me think.
I mean, of course, you have some from females, some from males, right? But since you're on the topic of men versus bear, what is your worst convention experience with like a man?
I guess like the most it's not worst because like I really can't remember what are the worst because I've been in the Costco for like 10 years, but the most recent one is like I was at buffet at an event and then like I was gonna leave the event already, so I was like targeting a lot of things. I was still in cos, so the character I was cosplaying like had the chest exposed. Yeah, so me and my partner were like trying to leave already, then we got stopped for a photo, so and it was a fan, so of course I will like take the time and then take photo. And while my partner was taking the photo for us, this guy, he just comes in between. He stands right in front of me. He's like maybe like right here.
Not in front of your partner, you still do it.
Yeah, like my partner was there, and then he was standing right in front of my partner, and then he was like in front of me, and then he was just like
I remember this. I remember when Mauro told me, she sent me a video of her trying to pretend to be the guy.
Oh yeah, he was like
really? Do it for the camera. Nice boobies.
Yeah, and I was like,
fuck off.
And then like my partner like moved me and the fan like to another side.
Also, the fan wasn't respectful. It's just this random guy.
Yeah, it's just this random guy.
Oh my God.
And then like he moved us so that we can like move away from the guy. He followed after that, he stand right in front of me again. And he was
oh
like,
my God. You still look at your boobies.
yeah, then I was like,
Why?
no.
Why?
Yeah. And it was so, and at that point like I actually felt really, really scared. Like it
Yeah,
was
even
really
though like
scary.
your partner was around, he still dared to do like this kind of shit.
Yeah. And oh wait, I just remember. Wait, did I talk about this? I can't remember. But the one of the horrible ones was like getting degraded at an event.
Oh, I remember you haven't spoken on this podcast, but I heard about it.
Yeah,
you
so
can
I was
share.
also boofing again, and of course, with the content I'm doing right now, it's a bit more like sexy kind of characters. So the prints and all I sell is the same content. So I was boofing, and this guy like he queued up, he reached my booth, and then he was like pointing his phone at my
Oh,
catalog.
like recording.
Yeah, I think he was recording or doing a live, I don't know. And he started to say things like, oh my God, hentai boobies, I'm gonna fuck her so hard.
Huh? You say that?
Yeah, he's like, I'm gonna fuck you so
Ew.
hard. I'm going to do this and this and that. And do this.
Does
You
he
can
get-
beep everything out, but
Does
like,
he get off? Like, does he
I
feel
don't
happy
know.
doing that?
Yeah,
Like,
and
why?
the whole time he didn't even look at me, you know. I was right in front of him.
That's so rude.
Yeah, and like everyone else, it was super crowded at that area. So everyone else was just like shocked and staring at him like,
What's
but
wrong
no
with this
one like
guy?
kind of stand up for me, except for one guy friend. He came to like help me to shoo him away. But then he came back again.
No way.
Yeah, then
No way.
yeah, he just said really like disgusting things about me.
That's so rude. Like you think about it, right? If it's one-on-one, maybe they feel like they have the power over you, but it's in a public space.
Yeah.
And then he's just screaming all this. It's just pure rude and
Yeah,
like,
oh my God.
It's
It was
strange. It
really
is very
scary,
strange
yeah,
and very
yeah.
concerning.
Yeah, so I honestly don't know, but like I did kind of rant about it online, and I also had a few people victim blame me. They were like,
What?
"Oh, maybe you should stop doing this kind of content so that you can avoid people like that."
Oh my
But
God,
I don't.
that's really like what one of our interviewees said. No one will ask you what you're wearing if a bear attacked you and you die.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
Like, what's wrong with us wanting to wear nice clothes and going out, right? It's for ourselves.
Yeah, like I want to do all this
She
content
wanna,
because I
she
love
wanna
the
be
characters
cute.
and all.
She
Yeah,
love her waifus. Let her do it.
yeah, I love my Nikkei waifus.
Yeah, you can have waifus too, but don't be creepy.
Yeah, that's why. So it was kind of sad, but like I guess it is what it is. Like I tend to just like suck it up because
Very unfortunately, it really is what it is. And because he didn't quite do anything that had traces. I mean, he had his recording people that witness. It isn't as easy to report cases like this, I feel.
yeah, like it's like some sort of
Yeah.
harassment. It's more verbal harassment, but like it's still yeah, but it's still like really scary. Yeah, at the end of the day, yeah.
I guess before we wrap up this, do you have any final words?
I guess like if you're a cosplayer at conventions, just always stick close to your girlfriends, and like if you have like male friends and all, I mean I don't want to like doubt the friendship, but always just keep a lookout for yourself, cause I don't know, the world is scary.
Okay, so this is
Yeah.
final words for women. What about final words for men?
Put yourself in the perspective of a woman, even just for a day. Maybe hang out with a close girlfriend,
Yeah.
and then you can also see like the kind of stuff that they go through. I think maybe like if you're for like the cosplayers out there, then maybe you can see like how like creepy photos appearing, those kind of things. Because I realized like a lot of guy friends, they only truly understood when they see it from our eyes, yeah. When they witness it alongside with us.
I feel like if
Yeah.
you would open yourself up and be willing to try to really understand and observe, you will see things that you don't usually see. Like maybe you thought it was normal, but it makes us as women super uncomfortable.
That's true.
Yeah. So I guess with this conversation, we hope that you can get your minds thinking. It's not really about the choice people pick. It's about why they pick like bear or men. So yeah, 20 cents for you, or maybe like $200 at this point.
Take it and learn.
All right, thank you, and we'll see you in the next one.
Thank you.